Welcome back to BloonSharkTV. This is the channel where you'll find all your Bloons TD6 gameplay tips and tricks. Today we're going to be walking through Lotus Island. This is a beginner map on hard and chimps mode. This has been quite the week of trying to complete this map, but I finally think I found something that's going to help you guys do this, and to where it's maybe semi-challenging but possible. So unlike any other map I've covered so far, we are actually going to be starting this map out with a druid. And we're going to place this druid right to the right of this little downed, it's either a UFO or a shield. I'm going to assume maybe a shield because I see like a helmet over here, but it's kind of irrelevant. What matters is this map getting completed. So we're going to set him right there. And also make sure we have auto start off for now. And then we're going to upgrade this to Druidic Reach to give him range so he can start popping balloons right in this little region right here. And we're going to go ahead and get started. And if this goes correctly, these ones should be taken care of just like that. So I think this is going to go good. I've actually tried this in a couple of different spots, and on this placement it actually does sort of matter. If you kind of get him a little too far to the left, he actually doesn't do too well. So placement matters in this one, you guys. So round 7, we're gonna, as soon as we can, we're gonna get this Thorn Swarm upgrade, and this is going to add 8 thorns per shot instead of 5. So there we go there. And we'll especially need that on round 9 when there's a bunch of green balloons coming at us. So he should be okay these next couple of rounds by himself. So we are going to not upgrade him any further at the moment, but we are going to save up at this point for our hero. And again, my hero of choice is NTN, and I've got the UFO skin on that one this time. That just came out on a recent update, so I went ahead and bought it because I've got like 70 grand stocked up in monkey money, so I needed something to spend it on, and I found something. So it does pretty good. It changes the drones to little UFOs, so it's kind of funny. And they shoot laser beams. And, I mean, how... Can't get any better than laser beams. So we're going to do, let's see, round 10. Shouldn't be an issue. They're going to cluster up right here, but we should be able to handle it. Alright, and we did just barely. So this round we're going to be able to get NTN, so we're going to start it, but slow it down. And then we're just going to watch our funds here at the top. And when we get to about 920, we're going to place them right here. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but just above and to the right of the druid. And we are going to let these guys take care of things for the next few rounds. The next upgrade or tower that we're going to save for is actually our heli pilot. So just want to mention a couple things here on this druid. We will do a couple more upgrades, I believe, but it's interesting. If you can play with the heroes on this one, I still would rather have NTN's camo, early camo detection abilities. So at level 5 is when NTN can spot and shoot camo. I don't know about any other heroes at this point as far as when they can see and attack camo. Also on this one real quick, I just want to mention round 15. Right about now is when I hit my activated ability, right before these pinks roll out, because other than that we could potentially lose. So got to use an activated ability there to get us through the round. 16 we should be fine, but want to use it right there on round 15. But anyways, I really depend on this camo detection early on, so that's why it's super important, at least for me, to have that. So, and I'm hoping I have to use that little stun right there with the flower too. So that one's been kind of hit or miss, whether I have to do that or not. And I did notice the few different times I've played this this map, I have had to alternate between using certain ones of these stun flowers at various times. So you may have to just be careful and watch out for that up front. But it is possible you may have to use that. So here in just a couple of hundred, we'll be able to afford our heli pilot, and then things will get a little easier for us. We actually don't add a ton of towers on this map. Keep it simple, keep the population low as far as towers on here, and we shouldn't have too many major problems or things we have to watch out for. So now that we can afford heli pilot, we're going to go ahead and put him kind of to the right and above our hero. And as you can see, may need to place that a little sooner, because that could get a little sketchy at the end right there if you didn't see that. So he's going to go right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and keep him on where he follows my mouse pointer here just for a little bit. But what I'm going to do is kind of back him off and give NTN a little more of the pop count for now, so that hopefully he can get leveled up a little quicker. But I did notice last run through of this, I can't quite get the true drones before before round 33, which is where could potentially lose if you don't have, if they don't come around this curve a certain way and he's in a certain place. He can actually do it just a single drone. But if it doesn't work out, then I do have to use the activated ability to get through that round. So the next thing we're going to upgrade for is going to be our heli pilot's quad dart upgrade. That'll give us a little more backup power going into these next few rounds. So go ahead and hit that as soon as you can afford that, which should be by the end of round 21. And if you aim this about where I have it, you can see the darts from the heli pilot kind of stretch all the way to the entrance of the map. So you can get almost like maximum pop coverage doing it that way. And it gives a little head start on popping some things, and by the time they reach this Gulf entrance, they really don't have a chance. 24 is our first camo. We should be able to take care of this with our one drone for now. And then the rest of this round is just blues, 25 some regions, not too bad. And I believe, yep, some purples, not gonna be an issue. 26 is some pinks and some zebras. All right, so now that we've got about 1,500, we're gonna go ahead and get placed, because 28 here coming up pretty soon is our first round with leads. So we're gonna go ahead and put our alchemist right to the left of the helipad, but as close up north right before it touches the flower as possible. Because what we're also gonna do is we're gonna throw our monkey village right in this little spot right here. So we're gonna need that. And then before round 28, go ahead and upgrade to larger potions and acidic mixture dip. Change your targeting to strong on that alchemist. And then we're gonna just kind of keep things going here. This shouldn't be an issue. Round 29 shouldn't be an issue. So here's the trade-off on this. You can kind of go either way. You've got to just pay attention both ways that you go. So I've played this a couple of times through now with this setup at the beginning, and I've gone top tier both ways, but then I also tried middle tier as a secondary and then bottom tier as a secondary. I like the middle tier because if things do kind of get past and start going around this way, he can chase them down super quick and be there kind of ahead of the game. This lower tier, he's a little slower but shoots faster, so it's kind of like, what would you rather have? I think for what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and use the bottom tier this time, and we'll kind of see how that works out. So let's see, we may have to slow this down just a touch. Get through this part here. Okay. So next thing we're gonna do is go ahead and let's check on him. So he's a little ways away from having 2 drones. Like I mentioned, it's gonna be tough having that right when I wanted it. So let's go ahead and do pursuit. When you purchase pursuit on the helipad, or the helipilot, excuse me, pursuit targeting automatically initiates, so you don't have to worry about changing it. But if you didn't want it, you're gonna have to make sure you change it back. So he's gonna pursue. That'll leave my mouse where I don't have to worry about him following whatever I'm pointing at. All right, so 33, we're just gonna take it slow and see kind of how this works out. I did it last time to where when he hits this, he's kind of doing it, but not exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna do the 2. Okay, so that screwed up just a touch. So we're gonna put this guy here. I normally don't want to waste this, but to get through, I had to throw him down there. So I didn't want to waste that money, but it's kind of a give and take. That's one of the risks of, well, as you can see, waiting till the last minute to activate an ability. But now that he's down there, now that I have 2 drones, of course, 1 round too late, anything getting up here shouldn't be a problem now. So let's go ahead and just keep this thing kicking forwards. I'm going ahead and I'm fast forwarding now, because I think we've got a pretty good handle on everything else to where we can stay fast forward. So let's do, now that we're at this point, let's go ahead and do, I'm going to go faster darts, faster firing, and let's go razor rotors. And just so we know we got this placed right, let's go ahead and place our monkey village right here, as much to the north as you can, because we also want to throw in our last tower right up in here. So let's get this one going. There's still only camo detection on the on our hero. So here, let's see, hopefully in the next 5 rounds or so we should have camo detection for everybody. 37 at the end is going to have a little rush of white camos, so make sure that you're ready to hit your activated ability on the hero for that into that round. But we're also going to upgrade, you know what, actually we're not going to upgrade, but we are going to hit our ability now, so we can make sure that these don't get past us this time. I was actually contemplating upgrading our top tier and middle tier on our alchemist. I'm not sure if I want to do that. I think I will do it before 40. So I'll just go ahead and do it right now. So Berserker Brew, we'll go ahead and do. We won't use our activated ability again until 40. We'll use it just to make sure that we clear that round. We're going to get some rainbows here and then a couple of regions at the end. There's 1, there's 2. And then we'll go ahead and hit start and almost immediately hit the activated ability so that these guys can take care of this Moab, which we should be able to do without any issues. And we did. Okay. So next thing we're going to get here is we should be able to save for Apache Dart ship by the time we reach round 63. I think I can do that. If I remember what I did last time, I think you could reach it. Now you can see we have all monkeys getting camo. Thank you to our hero. Even though I didn't necessarily have to wait for that because I could purchase it here, which we're going to purchase anyways to get to the other upgrade that we need. But for this time, we're just gonna do it the way I've been doing it. Because if it works, why change it at this point? So I played this through a couple times, like I said. Sometimes I've had to do this where I've had to add this other dart monkey up here last minute, but that time it just didn't work out for us, so I had to add that in there. So what we're going to end up doing is we are going to do the typical approach with the alchemist and do a 4-2-0 to give him the max we can get him without wasting too much money, because his last tier upgrade cost on the top tier is like 64,000, so it's pretty expensive. For CHIMPS mode, not really worth it. If you're playing any other game mode, I would definitely get it, but CHIMPS mode, it's kind of bare bones, so I would not pursue getting that upgrade unless you absolutely can and it's a really, really easy map. There's really no point in trying to do that. So this one here, let's see how we do with these ceramics. And we did okay. So he's gonna just kind of chase him back now. I can go ahead and fast forward this. We're at 15,000, and we might even be able to get this before like 55 possibly. So we only need about 6,000 at this point to get our Apache Dart ship upgrade. And it's gonna look like this, and we should be able to get that. So our last, oh yeah, we should be fine. Anyways, our last tower that we're gonna place is our Monkey Ace. And Monkey Ace is excellent choice for especially the later rounds when you're dealing with Moabs and more Moabs and tons more Moabs. So we can get our Apache Dart ship. So we're gonna go ahead and get it now. Start getting this stuff taken care of. And now as soon as you buy Apache Dart ship, guys, you pretty much can just turn on auto start at this point, and you'll see what I'm talking about. And the reason for that, because this guy, he was actually, so on Bloons TD5, the heli pilot ended up being like my all-time favorite tower, because I could pretty much do almost any map with that tower. Not just one. I mean, I'd have like 15 of them on the map in TD5, but in 6 I have not quite had to go that many, but because the trade-off is on TD6 we have this 5th tier, which is an amazing upgrade, which I think we'll be able to get this too, because we'll have a limited number of towers on the map, so we'll be able to afford it. So next we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to go ahead and get our last tower just on the map. That way we can focus on upgrading everything else. So you'll see, if I can't really quite place it now because we're not in range, so go ahead and first upgrade to bigger radius and just do jungle drums. And then go ahead, now we're in range of the monkey village, so let's go ahead and place him here. Also in range of our alchemist, as you can see with the icon there. So, and that usually won't show up, you guys, unless you have the Berserker Brew upgrade. You won't notice that icon. So unless you're like right next to it, you won't see it. Yeah, like here, I mean, he's definitely in range, but without that upgrade, you're not going to see that icon. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is give this guy rapid fire, lots more darts, fighter plane, and we're going to go ahead and go Operation Dart Storm. sharper darts. Don't need centered path, because we're going to just use the figure infinite for this track, and we're going to keep it on there. So this 325 not necessary to use or spend. So the next thing we're going to do to make life a little easier is we're going to go grow blocker, radio scanner, monkey intelligence. Now at this point in the game, if you've made it this far with me, doing your own map as you sit and watch this video, you can go, which I did earlier. It was okay, like it worked out okay, but it's not necessary. I went ahead and actually just maxed this tier out in the middle, which is the one that gives you like the thorny vines all throughout the track, which helps for stragglers, but towards the later rounds it really doesn't matter too much. And by the time you can afford it, in the earlier rounds, you can't really afford anything else, and it's really tough to get that before round 63, so I wouldn't even really push for it. So that's up to you if you want to do this. I only went 2 more tiers on this one, so he ended up with a 0, 3, 1. Not necessary, like I said, to even upgrade it further at this point. What I will do is I will go ahead and do stronger stimulant on this guy and stronger acid and perishing potion. So now for me anyways, my alchemist is done. Targeting stays strong. Our druid, I'm gonna leave him like that, so he's first targeting, and then he's a 0-1-1. NTN is now on a 3rd drone, so I'm gonna change this from zone defense to first for targeting, and then it's pretty much just saving up money for this upgrade, and hopefully this upgrade. That's like 80, and how much was that? 48 and 43. That's like 91, almost 92,000 just for those 2 to be upgraded. First, the first one I think I'm going to push for upgrading is our Sky Shredder, because he's about $5,000 less to reach his upgrade. So we're gonna shoot for that. If it looks like we're gonna make it, I'll go for Apache Prime, but we'll just kind of see how this goes. Given that we don't have much more money outside of that to upgrade anything, I don't know that I'll get to Call of Arms, but we'll check that out when we get there. So as you can see, just in what we have on the map, with these few towers, we're doing pretty good up against Moabs. We won't get a ZOMG until 80, so it's all just kind of Moabs and BFBs and ceramics and ceramic camos and ceramic regens at this point, and they're sending a ton of them out, so we should be fine. 76 is another danger round. They send a cluster of regen ceramics at you, so if you don't have the grow blocker here and you don't have enough firepower, you're just gonna barely pop them. They're gonna regenerate into twice as many, and it will get out of hand pretty quick, so you got to make sure you've got the firepower to back up that round. And I think we will, just in case. We've got our UAV upgrade now, our activated ability for our hero, so either way we'll be fine. You just got to pay attention to what happens, because if it does get out of hand, we'll slow it down so you can see what I mean. If it happens to us, I don't know that it will, but if it gets out of hand, we'll go ahead and hit the ability, and we handled it just fine, so we don't have to do that. I would say, just to be safe, if they get outside this corner of the gulf right here, just go ahead and hit the ability, because they start jamming once they're over here. By that time you popped them, they're probably pink or rainbow, and those can kind of get quick on you, so don't let them get too far down the map where you will not have a chance, and you'll be restarting your game and rewinding my video back to the point where you were before you died. So just make sure that you got the firepower. And like you've seen so far, we're on round 78. Nothing really, I mean, every once in a while something will kind of get up over here, but it doesn't happen too often. And we are just about 13,000, 12,000 away from upgrading our Monkey Ace to Sky Shredder, which would be awesome. So these are let's see, these are camo ceramics, so as you can see, quite a few of them. See how he's kind of slow? That's one of the, that's where I wish I kind of like 5 on TD5, you kind of had my two favorites were in one tier at that point instead of them splitting them up into 3 like they did in this game. So in some ways, TD5 had some great concepts as far as the tier system, but I do like 6 to where you have sort of like more options, more possibilities, which is pretty cool too. So I actually kind of like the way it is on 6. I'm used to it now, so going back to 5 sometimes is really confusing and frustrating because you're assuming things are like they are in 6 and they're really not. So just make sure you remember that you're playing 5 when you're playing 5 or 6 when you're playing 6, because it can get a little frustrating. So here's our first ZOMG. We should be able to handle this guy without too many problems. And at this point, we are, let's see, we're at 40,000. I think if we don't get too many bunches of fortified, like Moab class balloons, I think we'll be able to save up for Apache Prime. Let's see what to do. All right, so I think I'm gonna go with, if we can do this, we already have enough to upgrade this one if I need to, but I think I want to try to save for that extra 5 grand to get Apache Prime, because he really does, he handles business pretty good. I think I'm gonna try it if I can. So I'm gonna probably have to, I'm gonna have to stun these guys. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to stun these guys, and I'm probably gonna have to do this too, just in case. Alright, so we had to use an activated ability there, just to make sure we don't get game over at this point. So I really don't want to disappoint you guys, and I don't want to have to do this again myself. I have played this stinking map so many times in the last few days. I am just over it. Alright, here we go, Apache Prime. It's time to get on like Donkey Kong. Any of you guys remember Donkey Kong? If you remember Donkey Kong, leave me a comment in this video. It's been a long time since I played Donkey Kong. I'm not talking like Donkey Kong like the Donkey Kong Jr., like the cool one where it's, you know, what was that, Super Nintendo? I'm talking old school, like Mario climbing up the ladders and avoiding barrels and trying to rescue the princess Donkey Kong. That Donkey Kong. The OG Donkey Kong. See if you remember that. Anyways, while we're kind of watching things unfold here, I think we're going to be able to max out our hero. We've got about 15 rounds until 100. We will be pretty close. So we're also going to see if we can't get back up to 43 grand and get our Sky Shredder. But as you can see, look at Apache Prime, how quickly he's just kind of tearing through all these Moab class. See, this is the different thing. So when I did this earlier, I did the middle tier with the bigger jet, so he flew faster. But I'm noticing now, having the faster firing and the faster darts, he's actually ripping through these at a good pace. So I think I like that better, because I like stuff to be like done as soon as possible, and he's doing that for sure. Even those fortified ones are like, they're going down pretty quick. Okay, so we're coming up on 90. 90's got 3 DDT balloons, so Those are camoed, and they're just super quick and hard to pop if you don't have the right towers, but we do, thankfully, and they are toast. The next DDTs that are going to come are going to be on round 93, and it's just a few more. I think it's less than 10, somewhere around 10. I don't remember counting the ones from 93. Anyway, so your DDTs show up in the 90s, so they come up on round 90, they come on 93, they come up on 95, and they come up on 99. So just remember those numbers. 95 has the most at 30. They throw 30 DDTs at you on round 95. So just be warned. Make sure you have plenty of power to take that down. So we might be able to get the Sky Shredder, you guys. We're at 30, almost 35 grand. I need another, what's that, 8 grand. Now we need, oh yeah, those guys were no issue, which is wonderful. I like when things are not an issue, especially this. I really think this track was like classified the wrong way when they threw it in the beginner maps, because I'm like, there's no way that this was supposed to be a beginner map. Well, I mean, if you're playing it on any other difficulty, like if you're playing it on like easy, or like even like Magic Monkeys only is like easier than this. Chimps mode just sucks on this map. It sucks. Oh yeah, we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it right here, I think. We're gonna get Sky Shredder, you guys, and this is gonna look amazing. And any second now. There we go. Look at this. This is, now he shoots those anti-Moab missiles super quick now too. So check this out. When this is fast forward, this thing's like covered in darts. It's amazing. It's amazing to look at. You get mesmerized by it. Alright, so they're going to be coming out any second here. Let's see how we do. So, between Sky Shredder and this Apache Prime, this is why, by the way, I choose the what's this called? The Figure Infinite, because of the flight pattern. He pretty much stays right there at the beginning third of the map, and especially on round 95, it's very important to make sure that there's not a whole lot of stray missiles, or sometimes if you have a map like this and you see those missiles that are shooting out now, sometimes depending on this flight pattern, they'll actually like circle the Moab like 3 or 4 or even 5 times before they hit, and that takes way too long to kill those things. So if you see that, change the flight pattern and see if that will help you out. I've noticed that before, and it just like absolutely almost made him like pointless to even have, because it took so long to get those missiles on target. So just a little tip there for you, just in case you're wondering. Now 98 is another one that sucks, because they send a crap load of fortified Moabs and BFBs out here, and if they get too clustered up together and you don't have, again, enough firepower, they'll catch you off guard, and the next thing you'll be seeing is game over on your screen. And you can see, look at this, they got this huge cluster of like BFBs back here. They're actually peppered all through this line, so you really got to watch out for that. I'm going to go ahead and get this. We can get it. So I'm going to get called arms right any second here, because we're going to need that probably for around 100. I'm going to go ahead also and stun, hopefully, somewhere. Oh man, don't even mess with me right now. Don't even mess with me right now. Oh, I want it. Man, that should be working. Man, I am so glad. I'm so glad that I didn't have to use that. So we did max out our our hero, you guys maxed him out. Those fortified DDTs coming through. It's gonna be a close one. Man, those stuns aren't working. What is up with that? That's a trip. Alright, so now we got all 3 activated abilities. We're gonna go ahead and hit Jungle Drums, hit this one, and then not too much later, this purple should be toast. So when our hero gets to level 20, it's a permanent UAV attack, and then when you hit the activated ability, it's a more powerful UAV attack. So now that these are, the purples popped, the DDTs are popped, these guys will be no problem. They just barely make it into the Gulf, and then they're toast. So there it is. So we got a Wizard Monkey for an Insta Monkey off of that. Thank you guys for sticking with me on that. This has been episode 5 of BloonSharkTV. I hope this this gameplay tip helped you out, and not just on this map, but on other maps as well. So if you can, please subscribe to the channel, like and share the video, leave me a comment in the comment section there, and we'll see you for episode 6 next time. Have a good one.